Faith the dog trainer here. I'm going to be working with Lacey, who's Bernie Doodle, who is understanding the concept to downstay, but not so much when there's big distractions around. So when I'm first introducing this concept, I want to be working inside because I can control to most extent who's coming and going, if there's another dog, if there's different toys around, anything that might be considered a distraction for the dog. And it's different per dog of what is considered a distraction. If my dog has a very short attention span or needs to be have their energy outed some way where it's first thing in the morning, I may not practice this. I want some like gone for a walk, she's already played something so that she's not quite bouncing off the walls. I want the dog to succeed. So I'm gonna ask Lacey to down. Got my hand signal. Right. Notice that hip shift. My shepherd's nose might be in the way. Kodiak, go to the bed. That is the point right here of what I want my dog to be able to ultimately do. I did a hand signal so that the other dog moved out of the way. So we've got, can you see? Yes, we can. Perfect. Her hip. She shifted onto the side. I need to reward between the front feet. And I did not a great aiming right there. She's searching for it. The point is, I've got 10 seconds right here. So now that I have a good amount of time, I'm going to release her. Okay. And I did it just a tiny little step back as well, so my body language was saying the same thing as my voice in the command. So if that is not something that you can do with your dog, you're going to use the leash and you're going to use a treat to actually guide them into position. That's the easy version to get what we're asking for. But you see how she's laying straight? That's not going to cut it. That's what I want right there, that hip shift. So if I need to reward right there. Don't make the mistake of doing treat to mouth. She's going to get up and break position to get to the treat faster. So reward on the ground. If I need to do 10 treats to get 10 seconds, that's okay. I'm going to make my treat smaller and smaller. So reward. That was my fault. Okay, bad throw. It hit her foot and bounced off. That's one of the times they're not intentionally, they're not in trouble. I don't need to correct that. I just, whoopsies, start over. So that's what should also be occurring is if your dog butts pop up or they get out of position before you've hit your goal, if it's 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30, whatever you're working for, you need to have some type of goal. So it's not just this arbitrary and then next thing you know, they're walking around and you're like, wait, I didn't tell you can get up yet. At some point, I'm going to delay when I reward the treat. But if I'm working with any other distractions, I need to reward so frequently, yes, good down, that the dog succeeds. So now is not the time to be chintzy. Reward between the front paws. I want her to finish chewing. Good. I'm going to actually not move right now. If I'm just beginning into this downstay, my main goal is just duration. I want to know that she can just hang out here without the other aspects of distractions to the most extent possible, which is me moving. That's why I'm not just doing stay and then me moving all around the place. That's too much, too soon. You need to break these exercises into smaller pieces so the dog succeeds. So now that I've hit my time frame, I'm going to reward. I want her to chew, then glance back up at me. I mean, she doesn't have to be staring. I don't need her obsessively like, where is she? Where's the treat? But I also want to know that she's focused on me and wanting to please me. I'm working for something, essentially. Very good. At some point, this is where I start delaying when I give the reward, so they just start to relax more. Downstay, a lot of times, becomes settle. Like, downstay is, you're not released until I release you. Settle is downstay, also turn your brain off. So there is a difference, and they start to really merge the more you work on this. And the dog goes, well, I'm just hanging out until my mom says I can get up, and they stop resisting. But if you can't get even 10 seconds with your dog laying down without them popping up every 2.9 seconds, You need to be using a leash, and you need to be keeping the leash short enough to where they're not just running to the end of the 6 feet every time. If you guys want a video on the beginner of that, what that looks like, then I can create one as well. I will often use the leash and maybe not even be holding the end of it because I'm inside and I'm in a controlled environment. I've got a door or baby gate that I can close so that I don't have to worry about her just being distracted because there's a knock at the door or something like that. So keep it brief. Reward the dog when they lay down and have that hip shift, but don't keep yourself stuck where we're in this position. Down, we're crouched. We're ready for them to get up, and you're getting your leg work out because you're doing a squat, but your body language is saying, I don't trust you to stay in this position. So when you reward, that gives you the extra second to actually stand upright. This says I'm confident, I'm a leader, I'm not concerned about you getting up. The moment I see her fidget or restless, moving around, that's my cue to go, oh, she's gonna get up, and I need to release her before she actually does get up. So that, speaking of which, I should be able, to be able to praise her. My praise is not a release. I should be able to do, oh, that's so good. I should be able to even pet her without her getting up. So if your mind is blown and like, what? I can't even touch my dog if I'm trying to do this stuff. That's okay. It just means we need to, don't ask for so much. And maybe it means you're rewarding. Maybe you have to be here. Maybe you're hanging out a little lower, a little closer to the dog. But if things are not working and you're frustrated, it means you're asking for too much, too long, too much motion. You're walking around, you're leaving 10, 20 feet away. Okay. I saw that she was getting glasses. It doesn't, me giving the release command doesn't always mean I actually want them to get up. It's more of I'm noticing that they're getting up, so I'm acting like it's my idea. So there's your little intro to the middle step of a down stay. What's the word I'm looking for? Introduction, thank you, would be using the leash, using the treat to guide them into position. And many people, they go, okay, great, that's not a problem. I can do that part. It's the next step. What do we do next to get to that point where you start actually understanding that they know what you're talking about? So you can build 3-5 minutes or more. But it means I need to start really working on separating what activities are going on. I'm not going to be doing this while I'm also walking away. That's for more advanced. That's what we're working to get up to. All right. Work on your homework, guys.